This is the F50, and it can fly over 100 kilometers an hour just from the power of the wind. But without this one crucial part, it's just like a fighter jet, simply uncontrollable without it.
Britain is absolutely flying around the course today.
Everyone knows this is Formula One on water.
In this video, we'll explain how one piece of motor racing technology underpins the entire nervous system of the F50.
Drove it like he stole it at Mark 1.
It'd be almost impossible to fly the F50 without the brains of the circuit on there. Hi, my name's Luke Stock. I'm a software developer at SailGP. I'm part of the team that's responsible for writing all of the code that goes on the F50 to control it. The most important part of the F50 is the central processing unit. The product in particular we use is Cosworth's Bodinia. It's essentially the brains of the circuit, and it's responsible for taking all of the inputs, processing it, and then passing out as outputs to move the boat and control it. When you're traveling at 100 kilometers per hour, the difference of hundreds of a second, and making those decisions.
France on the inside, and look at the speeds already at 90 kilometers an hour.
It's too fast for a human being.
Oh my word, it's a big incident.
Problems,
here.
big problems.
Oh, no.
The physics on board of the F50 is very complex, perhaps too fast for a human to react to it. Similarities can be drawn to a fighter jet in the aspect that the physics going on there happens in real time at fast pace. And having the brains of the unit to automate and process things at a high rate to give the highest precision performance possible is a fantastic thing to have.
All of the instrumentation on the boat, all of the analog inputs, all of the athlete inputs from their controls, all of their data, everything passes through this unit, which makes it completely paramount for the effective control of the yacht and its reliability and performance on the water. We choose our manufacturers and our hardware based on the demands of the yacht. It's such a harsh environment, and we benefit heavily from development in motorsport and with working with our partners, and they feed us a lot of information and development, performance enhancing kind of strategies that help us develop a yacht that is capable of performing at the highest level in such harsh environments.
Go over 103!
Oh, what a moment! Fastest speed in SailGP ever.
The control system on board is responsible for everything that is going on with the movements on board.
Who's going to drive hard towards here, Mark 1? Look how high they're flying. It's got a skid on the Italian boat. They got too high.
No.
They got too high. They skidded sideways, massive leeway skid. It's really dramatic at Mark 1.
This goes from the rudders to the dagger boards, movements, up, down, rake, cants, as well as that, the wing profiles and the jib sheets as well. The only two things that aren't fly-by-wire is the steering and the wing sheet controls. Fly-by-wire in our world is pushing a button which sends an electrical signal into the brains of the F50. This responds by sending more electrical signals to the actuators which move the boat. As an example of a control system that's programmed onto the CPU is dropping the dagger board. There's different areas on board the boat which the athlete will press a button to activate the dagger board drop.
Here I have 2 foot pedals. One is for dagger board down and the other one for dagger board up. Simply have to touch this one time and the board will start dropping.
On board, that signal gets collected by the Bodinia. This then ensures or checks to see if there's enough system pressure to be able to drop the board. As it drops, it will come into contact with the water, which will need to engage the hydraulic pump to push it down. As it starts to fall, there's a dagger board lock, which needs to be disengaged to bring the lock out. Allow the dagger boards to come onto the lock and engage again. There's about 9 different stages of it, unstowing, dropping, getting onto the lock, and different events that need to occur all across the boat to make sure that the dagger board just drops even.
When we receive the hardware from our suppliers, it passes through our performance systems team, and they'll pre-program and pre-check all of the hardware before it comes to us. We will then house all of the components within our watertight enclosures. Then they will be installed on the platform, at which point we will work collaboratively with the systems engineers to slowly introduce the hardware onto the yacht. We'll work out to extremities and then slowly add all the components until they're working harmoniously throughout the yacht, at which point we have a fundamental platform to work from, where we can then further check inputs, outputs, sensors, and all extremities of the yacht.
It has the capacity to capture data at 200 Hertz, which is 200 samples per second. We have 125 sensors that run through the brains of the circuit, is distributing out information to the data analysis, safety team, coaches, even the data that comes up live on the broadcast. Without it, essentially, we're running blind and we don't have a clue what's going on. SailGP, the race course, is quite unique. What we see is the augmented racetrack live via the broadcast to our screens is not actually visible to the athletes. For them, they rely on the Bodinia to give them visual sight. On board, they have a tactical software which shows them the boundaries that they must remain in. As well as that, it also has a tracker of all the boats live to make sure that it gives them an audio and visual aid in case their heads aren't up and looking at other boats on the race course. Here at SailGP, we want to make sure that we have the highest performance units, which is what Cosworth delivers. It allows us to produce the best racing on water that we can. As well as that, it gives us a space to be able to load our own code on, which is configurable to what we need. It gives us the flexibility and freedom to make sure that we can make changes and develop things at a faster pace. We differ to motorsport in how we use telemetry. It's a two-way tool with communications, which allows the coaches to update the boats live in real time with their configuration. One of the interesting ways that SailGP uses this is that the boat's kind of open for configuration during sailing, and there's usually wind shifts that happen. As well as that, if one boat is doing particularly well, you may have unlocked a secret way to sail the course a bit better. Someone who's performing quite poorly on the day can have a look at the data as it's all open and apply those changes in real time during the race to get a performance improvement. So looking forward to the future, we have the exact code that lives on the brains of the circuit feeding into the simulator now, which is improving performance development for the athletes. It's a fantastic tool for them to use, as sailing days for them is only during race weekend or a training day beforehand. So opening up more hours to the athletes is highly beneficial to their development.